Hi everyone, welcome back to Get Your Plan Line. I'm Hannah, and today we will be doing, um, welcome back. So we'll be doing Get Moving, and we will be training like an astronaut. So today's this week's today's the first day of this week's new theme, which is out of this world or space. So today we're going to first learn why it's so important that astronauts train while they are in space and before they go to space, and as well as for us here on Earth. And then we will stretch, and then we'll get to try out some of the exercises that they do in space. So, this is the first day of the theme, Out of This World. And for Get Moving, I just wanted to try out some of the exercises that they do in space. So, if you don't know much about space or the moon or planets or anything like that, you will definitely know more throughout this week with different activities that Get Your Plan Line will be doing. But first, I just want to explain gravity and what that means. So, when we're standing here on Earth, we can feel this imaginary force which pulls us into the ground. And so that when we exercise, that plays a big factor in how we stand, how we feel with weight, how we even just walk around on a daily basis. So when you are in space, there's not as much of a pull towards the middle of the planet and our solar system. So on gravity is less on the moon and other planets in the solar system. So when astronauts go to space or when they travel to the moon, they feel lighter and they're floating. So you'll always see those action shots of astronauts in space, and they're almost just floating in midair. So that's just basically the reason for that is because it's almost like they have less weight on the moon or other planets. So when they are in space, they might be, if it's 100 pounds on Earth, it might be like 17 or 20-ish pounds. So they feel like they're floating and they're just gliding in space and in the air. So the reason that that has to do with exercise is that they don't have to work as hard. They don't have to work their muscles as hard because they're just floating in midair. So it's almost like if they were walking, they don't have to put as much into it. They don't have to try as hard as we would on Earth. So before they go on a mission or something like that, they train really, really hard here on Earth so that they have strong muscles and strong bones and everything so that they can be super strong once they're in space. Because there's a ton to do up there. They have to lift things, they have to just do daily work, but up in space. So it's very difficult to just float around. Which it seems like a ton of fun, but it's actually pretty difficult because it's such a change from here on Earth. So then, once they are in space, either in the space station or on the moon or something like that, they have to keep working their muscles through exercise in order to be able to keep being strong. So they don't have to work as hard on a daily basis. So they have to come up with creative ways in order to exercise so that when they come back home, they're still really strong and they didn't lose any of their muscle or their bones, because your bones have to stay pretty strong. So they exercise pretty much twice a day once they're in space in order to keep being healthy and keep being strong. So today we're going to try out some of the exercises that they do in space. Another thing is that they have to come up with different machines in order to um, combat because they're floating in air. So let's say you were trying to do a push-up or something. Um, they would just float in air. They wouldn't be stuck to the ground. So they have to come up with certain machines in order to stay put on the ground and be able to do their exercises. So if you think about it, it's kind of like if you were really sick one day and you were staying at home because you were really sick, and after you got over your sickness you kind of feel weaker because you've been laying in bed all that time, so you kind of feel tired, you feel weaker, your muscles aren't as strong as they were before because you weren't running around, walking around, playing games, things like that. So that's kind of what they feel like if they were to come back from space, but they weren't working out every day. So these are some of the exercises that those astronauts do once they're at the space station or the moon. So first I'm just going to tell you what they are. So they do running, so they'll do jogging or running, and they have this special treadmill where they are connected to the ground so that their body stays on the treadmill and they're not just floating up in the air. And then they also do different strength and weight training, different resistance training in the space station and on the moon. And then they do bicycles, so they ride their bicycle. But this isn't just any ordinary bicycle because you can't ride your bike in space. So it's a stationary bike that they pedal, and you've probably seen that before. And since we can't be actually riding our bike just like they do, I don't have a stationary bicycle, so we will do a different activity in order to replicate exactly what the astronauts do. So first we're going to stretch, and then we're going to get ahead into the 3 exercises that the astronauts do. So make sure that you have some water, and I brought my gym shoes down, and I'm going to put these on, tie these on, and then we'll get started. So we'll try each of the 3 activities, and some of them have some fun names. And then at the end, I might teach some moonwalking just because that's really fun for the theme. I don't know if astronauts actually moonwalk in space, but it would be pretty fun. We can do that at the end, and that will be the entire Get Moving for today. So make sure you have some water, you're in a comfortable space where you can get moving, have some clothes on that you might get a little sweaty, and then we'll get started. So first we're just going to stretch. I'm going to move this camera up a little bit so you can see me. So first I have a mat on the ground just in case if you have something like that, you can use that. So first we'll reach up and down and up and down. Last time, up. So you're bending in your knees like this. Up. Then we'll take it to the side. You want to make sure you're getting all stretched out. Your body's getting ready to work. And then the other side. If you really lean into it, you can feel it all down your back and your side. And then we'll go down to the middle and hold. And you can shift from either side just to make your hips and your legs feel it a little bit more. And then we're going to take it to a lunge on the left or the right, whichever you prefer first. And then you'll hold, you can reach up with one arm, and then down, and then you're going to go up into a little triangle with your legs. And if you all the way down with the ground, that's okay. You can hold on to your leg, something like that. And then we'll go to the middle, back up, and then we'll go to the other side lunge, so whichever side you didn't do. And then you can reach up, then back down. Go to triangle again, reach forward. And one leg might be more challenging than the other, depending on how flexible you are. To the middle, and back up. And then we'll stretch our arms out to one side. Go to the other side. And then we will do our tricep stretch back behind our head. We'll stretch out. You're really getting this muscle. You're just pulling back right on your elbow. And then you're going to do with the other side. It should feel really, really good. And then we're going to lace our fingers and push forward. So you're pushing with your palms out and round your back. And then you can shift to either side, but you should feel this in your back and your upper shoulders. It feels really good. And then you can shake out however you want, just to make sure you're loose and ready. So we're gonna get started with the few activities that astronauts do. So the first thing that they do, as I mentioned, was running. So they can't run outside or go for a jog out on the sidewalk or in a park just because they're in space, so that would be crazy. But they do have treadmills where, as I mentioned, there's like a cord. I researched a little bit so we could understand better exactly what astronauts do. But there's a little cord and it attaches to them so that they can run while they are lower to the ground. So there's more of that pull, kind of like we have here on Earth. So the first thing that we will do is, we're not going to go for a run like they do because that's pretty long, but what we'll do is we'll run in place, jog in place, and you can go as fast as you can for 30 seconds and then stop and you can get some water and everything. But that's the first activity that they do in space. So you can either go like slow like this or super, super fast. And we'll just do it for 30 seconds. I'll put a little timer on and then we'll get some water. I like to go super, super fast for 30 seconds and then take a nice, relaxing break. So ready? 3, 2, 1. Go, 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 go. And if you want, you can make your knees go super high and then go low, super high, halfway there. And you can go to the side, the other side, back, forward. Just go super, super fast. 5 seconds. And like that. Oh, that was a lot, but that was good. Whew. So that's the first thing that the astronauts do. And you can feel your heart rate getting really, really fast, and that's good. That means that your body's working and your muscles are engaged. And while you're running, you can feel that your legs are being pulled into the ground. So that's exactly where they go back and forth on Earth. But when they're in space, they're floating in the air. So they have to have that cord in order to pull them down, just like we do here on Earth. So how about we do that one more time? I know it's really, really hot. Maybe you want to turn a fan or something like that. Make sure you have some water. We'll do it one more time and go really, really fast, and then we'll stop. And then let's do some of the other exercises that they do. Okay, reset. 3, 2, 1, go! Go, 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 go. I like going to the side. And to the side. You can add a little shuffle in. Side, side. High knees. Down. Halfway, more than halfway. 10 seconds left. Fast, fast, fast. See if you can go as fast as you can. Pump your arms. And done. Whew, that was a good workout. So make sure you get some water. We'll take a little bit of a break, and then we'll do the next exercises. So just like here on Earth, they need to stay hydrated in space just the same, because it's just your body needs that water, and it doesn't change once you're on Earth. You need to stay hydrated and be really replenished with good water. So they make sure they drink water in space just the same. So the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to teach some of the strength training exercises that they do. And we won't use all of the weights or anything, but we'll do a few of the exercises that they do in space. So some of them are similar to what we did during the stretch, but it's a little bend in your knees. So it's called the squat, and you're just going to, it's like the bend in our knees that we did during our stretching time, except it's just a little bit deeper, and it really engages your legs. So this is something that they do in space in order to make sure their muscles stay really healthy and engaged. And these are done on Earth all the time. So if you ever want to do them, we're training just like an astronaut. So let's do the first exercise called the squat. So similar to our stretching when we did this, and then we went over. This one is just a little bit deeper. So first I'll show it to you, and then I will explain in deeper details exactly how you do it. So my legs are wide, and I'm going low and up, down and up, down and up. Okay, so that's what it looks like. So first what you're going to do is make sure your legs are wide, kind of like how we did our bends before in our stretching series. You're going to be wide and have your toes pointed out a tiny bit. So they're going to be pointed directly out and not straight and in line, but a little bit outward. And your knees are going to go right over the toes. What you do not want is your knees going over the toes that way, just in line with the toes. So you're going to push your legs back towards the wall or wherever you're standing in front of, and come back up. So you're pushing them back and up, back and up. And you should feel your legs getting a good work in, just because they're engaging on the way down and on the way up to squeeze you back up to where you were. So if you can think about this in space, it's kind of like it wouldn't be as difficult to do just without the gravity pull to the ground. So what they like to do is they will add weight on top of them, so it pushes them down and back up, down and back up. The other thing you want to make sure is that your body is completely in line. So when you're upward, you're straight and focused right in front of you, and you're pushing your body back and up. Something that might help is putting your arms out in front of you and making sure you keep it all together at the same time. Down and up, down, and up. So let's do 10, and then we'll move on to the next exercise. So you'll have your arms in front of you, and we'll do 1, 2. Make sure your knees are not going over your feet, but just in line. So you're pushing everything back. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Push your body back. 2 more. 9 and 10. Good job. So that's the first one. And if you think that your legs could do even more, you can hold little weights, or you could carry a backpack, something a little bit heavier to add on to your legs so that they really feel engaged. So that is the first exercise. And then the second one that we will do are little presses. So we're pressing our arms up. So we just engaged our lower body with the running, and we did the squats back. So your legs might be a little bit tired. So now we're going to work our upper body. So we're going to focus on our arms, which is super important for not only astronauts, but for us every day. So you can do these presses without any weight, just going up like this, or if you have something, you could use, I have these little 5-pound weights, and this is something that they might use in space, just to make sure that they can get a really good workout in, even without the amount of gravity that we have here. If you don't have that, but you want to use something, you can use water bottles, something a little bit lighter. So first I'll teach the movement, and then we'll go ahead and use anything that you have on hand if you'd like. So I'll just be on my knees for now so that you can see the whole movement, since my ceilings are a little bit low. So you'll take your arms and you'll push up, down, up, down. So some things about this movement is that when you're in your starting position, you want it to be a straight line across. So you don't want to start here, and you don't want to start there. You want to start right in a T position almost. So that's what it's going to look like when you first begin. And your body, once again, similar to the squat, should be in a straight formation. And you can start with your T, and then how you're finishing is going to be straight up, like candlesticks almost. So you're going from a T, candlestick, T, candlestick. The other thing to remember is that when you start in your T, you don't want your shoulders to be up like this, so that you're all scrunched up when your arms go up. You want to start with your shoulders low, and then keep your shoulders where they are, so that it's all your arms doing the work. So we're going to do 10 of these, and then we will do the next exercise. So if you want to use something like a little bit of weight, or water bottles, or soup cans, anything like that, you can. So we'll start in our T and do 1, 2, candlestick, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All done. So once again, if you didn't have any weights, you might just do it with your arms like this, going from T to candlestick, T to candlestick. But that's a really great way to engage your arms, just like the astronauts. So now we've done 2 of the exercises, well, 3 of the exercises, including the running, that they do in the space station. So now we can move on to the third exercise. And this one has a fun name to it. It's called Jump for the Moon. So if you have something like a jump rope, that could be useful, or if you're doing this outside, you could use a rope, something like that. I don't have that, so I'm just going to be doing it like imaginary. But this is a great way to engage your body, and we'll be jumping just like Jump for the Moon. So this one is pretty self-explanatory, but it's kind of like jump rope if you've ever done that, but you'll just be doing little baby jumps like that, and then you can move your arm in a circular motion, kind of like you would be doing if you had an actual jump rope. So, similar to the running, maybe we can do this one for 30 seconds, and then we'll take a little bit of a water break. So, I'm going to reset it, and we'll do our little jump ropes for 30 seconds. Just remember, you're going on the balls of your feet, and up, and up, and up. And this is a great one to get your heart rate up again, just like we did with the running. So we'll do it for 30 seconds, and then we'll stop, and then we'll move on. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Jump, 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 jump. And you can also pretend to go like you're doing little tricks with your jump rope. To the side, double jump, anything. Or you can switch legs like this. 10 seconds left. This one you don't have to go as fast because it's pretty difficult. Jump, jump, jump. 3 seconds. Stop. Okay. Now we can get some water. But that exercise is fun because it's called Jump for the Moon. And it's just like the running because it gets your heart rate up, feels really good, your blood's pumping, and you're training like an astronaut. Okay, and with that Jump the Moon exercise, there are a little bit of ways you can mix it up. So you could do just like we did, just jump in place for 30 seconds, or you could try different surfaces. So if you wanted to go up on like a step or something, you could jump onto the step, down. That's all if you don't have the rope. If you have the rope, you could try all different types of tricks. So that one's really fun. And you can see how many times you can go without the rope hitting your legs. So that's a fun little contest you could do if you wanted to try if you had the rope. So the last thing that we're going to do, as I mentioned before, was the bicycle. So that's the third exercise that the astronauts do in space. And of course, here on Earth in order to prepare for space. But those are the three exercises. The running we did at the beginning, really quick feet. The second one was the strength training. So we did the squats, we did the presses, and we just did the jump rope. So those are some strength training exercises that they do. And then the third is the bicycle. And as I said before, I don't have a bicycle down here. And we're not going to go outside to do a bicycle race. But there's an exercise that we can do that kind of mimics the bicycle. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay on your back, just like this. And your legs are going to be up in the air. And then just like a bicycle, you're going to pedal, 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 pedal. Just like that. And this exercise is super good for your core. So now, once you've done this exercise, it's reached all the body parts. We did our legs, we did our arms, and now we're strengthening our core, just like an astronaut. So, let's try this exercise, and let's try and pedal for 30 seconds. So just like we did the other things, I'm going to set the timer, and we're going to try and do it for 30 seconds. On our back, we're going to pedal, pedal, pedal. And you can put your arms behind your head and pedal with it. So ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Pedal, pedal, pedal. You can go slow, or you can go quick, 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 quick. Or you can round it more, or just go straight out like bike. About 10 seconds left. Pedal, 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 pedal. Almost done. This is so good for your core. Done. Yay. So although that's not just like a bicycle, it's similar and something that you can do just inside your own home, just like an astronaut. So those were the 3 things that astronauts do in space, and we learned all of them. So make sure you get some water, take a little bit of a breather, and then I have the surprise. We're gonna do a little moonwalk. Whew, that one was challenging. Once you've done everything, it's such a good workout, just like the astronauts. So, this will be the last thing that we do is the moonwalk. So I'm gonna take off my shoes for this, and it's a little bit, it's not as much of an exercise that they do in space, but more something of a fun dance move that we can try. So I'm just gonna be in my socks, and then I will show you how we do it. So I am no pro at this, but this is the dance move called the moonwalk, and it's a little funky move that is supposed to kind of look like you're moving in all one motion. So you can start at the top of your mat. I'll move this a little bit so you can see. You're going to start at the top, tippy top of your mat, and then you're gonna work your way backwards. So what you're gonna start is your feet together, just like this, and then you're gonna pick up one of your heels. I'm gonna pick up my front heel and scoot it back. And then you're gonna pick up the other one, switch, and scoot it back. And then switch, scoot it back, switch, scoot it back. So you keep doing that until you get to the other side of your mat. And the goal is to make it look super smooth and like you're just walking on air almost, kind of like we talked about before, because it's much easier to float once you're on the moon and in space. So you're going to pick up your heel once again, scoot, switch, 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 switch. And I'm almost to the end of to the other side. Now we can try the other side. You pick up your heel, scoot, oop, scoot, scoot. Just like that. So that's a super fun dance move, perfect for our out of this world theme. So if you want to try that to some music, or you can add in some arms, it's super fun and perfect to try out throughout this entire week. So, I'm not sure if astronauts do that in space, but I'm sure they would try just for the fun of the name. So today you trained like an astronaut and you finished the whole thing like a pro. So make sure you get some water, take a breather, and you can keep trying those exercises and get better at each one. And you will be looking like an astronaut, strong and mighty. So thanks for joining. I'm Hannah, and this was Get Moving, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the Out of This World theme, and I'll see you later. Thanks for coming to Get Your Plan Online. Bye!